Morning everyone, we're on Wadley Cam here. It's a quiet, still, beautiful morning. And it's going to prove to be very warm. So it's ideal for gas transfer. Now, I thought we'd just have a look at things in more detail than last time. This donut has got gas in it. The gauge shows about a third full. Not all tanks have got gauges like that. There's the solenoid. Okay, you put 12 volts in that and you open up, and just down there is a manual tap. So you turn that clockwise, yeah, and turn it in, and that shuts it off. Okay, so on this one you've got a manual as well as an electric valve. Right, I've had to cut the bottom out. It's not the bottom of the tank, it's just the bottom of this enclosure, just so I can get to the fittings underneath. It's a bit of a weird one, but sometimes it happens that way. So what we need to do now is I'm just going to flip this tank over and I'll show you the bottom. Okay, that's that done. So as you can see, imagine there was a steel plate here with a small hole in it, and the pipes came through that small hole. So this one here is the gas in, that one there is the gas out, and that's the one we're interested in. So I'm going to put a pipe on there, threaded in, and I've shown this before making up the conversions. You just have to get the right bits of copper pipe with the right ends on. And of course, when you're doing this gas transfer, over time, you save all the fittings and you build up a stock. Okay, now there's another thing I could do with telling you about, but let's go and get an example. Okay, you might be able to see in there and out there. Now, this is one of the gas valves. Unfortunately, like most of them I get hold of, they've been beaten about quite badly. But normally that would thread in there. Okay, now this is the centre of the solenoid. That is the sliding valve there. Okay, and that normally fits on there. Okay, now this one's bent. Okay, and that happens frequently when these tanks are ripped out of cars. But if it's in there and you apply voltage to this and nothing happens, then you know this centre core is bent. Now, you've got to be careful here, but if you undo that like half a turn, it will raise enough to let gas out of there. But you don't want to go too far, because as you see, there's an O-ring on there. So you go too far, that O-ring can then split, and you're just going to let gas out continuously. But just undo it. If it's bent and nothing works, right, and you can't get the gas out, then, as I say, give that half a turn. Yeah, but be careful, right? And there is the manual valve. So in some cases, if you have a manual valve, which a lot of them do, you can make sure that that's switched off. You can take this out, and because this is bent, you can tap that valve in, yeah, and then put it back together, and then rely on the the manual valve there to let the gas in and out, but sometimes there isn't one of those, which is a bit weird, I know. Anyway, as you can see out there, so all of these fittings, not like this one because it's actually snapped off, but the fittings and short bits of pipe are very worthwhile in keeping, just to make up adapters. I did do a video, and a lot of people will be familiar with it, about how to solder up these fittings where the pipes they don't slide inside each other. There is a gap, and so therefore the smaller pipe in the bigger pipe rattles around. But there is an old-fashioned method that all the old refrigerant people used to use, and there is a video on that, and I will put that video as a link at the end of this one. It's quite useful, it's quite easy, yeah, and you would never thought about it, but like, what's not to like? Right, we'll get on with some gas transfer. Things is warming up, and of course there are other ways of warming up that tank. So there we go. I've got the gas fitting in place, and there's a smaller pipe going to a bigger pipe, and this smaller pipe goes in about that far, and it's all cleaned up really well and fluxed and everything, so the solder joint is not just where you see it, it's in there as well. Super clean, so all the solder will wick down in there. Right, now then, some people might think, oh, that's it, let's do gas transfer. And if you did it this way up, that's all you would get, just gas. Yeah. These tanks, there's a right way up and a wrong way up. And in a car, what happens is when that solenoid valve is opened, it lets LPG, which is the liquid, forward into along the pipe, obviously, into the evaporator, which is heated by the hot water from the engine, yeah, so it doesn't freeze up. But that evaporator changes it from liquid into gas. So these tanks, if you have the wrong way up, this will just let gas out. If I put it the right way up, then the output pipe of the tank is right at the bottom, and this at the moment is the bottom, which is the wrong way up. Yeah? So you want to transfer liquid, not the gas. So we'll turn this the other way up, and then you have liquid on the bottom and then a bit of gas on the top. And as the gas evaporates from the liquid, because the reduction in pressure, because you've opened up the valve, yeah, you can increase the pressure of that gas, so therefore then there is a difference between the pressure in this tank and the pressure in this gas bottle, yeah, and that way you can push the liquid, the LPG, out of this tank into that one. It's relatively simple, and there's one more thing I'd just like to cover. People go, oh, it'll explode. How frustrating can you get? Okay, for this to explode, we'll need a mixture of propane gas and oxygen in this tank, okay? Now, not only are these 4mm thick, so they're super thick, but there is no oxygen in this tank, okay? If there is a leak at one of these joints, yeah, all you get is a little flame. The worst case scenario, yeah, you'll hear a little hissing and you'll sort it out, won't you? Yeah? You go, oh, it's just leaking a bit, oh, I won't bother. No, you'll make sure your joints are good. But you won't get a flame going into the tank because of the pressure. Yeah. So therefore you can't get a flame or a ignition source in this tank, and it wouldn't go in there, A, because of the pressure, and B, there is no oxygen in there. Okay, right, let's hopefully, I mean, there are going to be some keyboard warriors, you know, who make up loads of nonsense, or just go on ChatGPT and get it to make up 19 yards of interminable drivel. But bottom line is, for an explosion you need a fuel and you need oxygen, unless you're using some modern chemical explosives where all the ingredients are within the substance itself. But in this case we got propane with no oxygen in this tank. Right, rant over, let's just crack on. There you can hear the solenoid and there's no hissing sound. Okay, so we haven't got any leaks. Now a further thing is, if you wanted to check whether you've actually got LPG or just gas in there, when you operate the solenoid and maybe you have the pipe to the cylinder there just slightly ajar, just not absolutely mega tight, there we go, yeah, then you will get liquid, or should we say you will get like white, almost like steam and everything, and that is the liquid gas evaporating. Okay, but if you only have gas in there, all you'll get is shh, yeah. And I keep saying you want the liquid, you want to transfer the liquid. Okay, so I've got a board over that tank to try and keep the sun off it, because we want that tank as cool as possible. Yeah, and of course this other tank is black, so it wants to be nice and hot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that the manual valve on the donut is open, and then I'm going to open the valve on the receiving cylinder. Okay, and we are still filming, so let's just give it a go. This one is open. Okay, that's right open now. And then this one, we should hear something. Okay, we're moving the liquid. Okay, and we want to move all of the liquid because the outlet pipe is at the bottom of this donut tank now. The gas pressure at the top is pushing the liquid through, transferring into that other cylinder, to the receiving cylinder. So when that noise stops, I might introduce a bit of extra heat into this donut tank. Can you hear that? That is the liquid moving, and also some of the liquid evaporating to create gas pressure above the liquid in this tank. Okay, hopefully you've got those sounds. Right, I'll get back to you shortly. So it's been about an hour. There's virtually no weight left in there, and there's virtually no sound, and it's still warm. So the benefit is of no breeze, as it doesn't cool down. So the valve's closed, and the valve's closed on that tank. And look, it's not liquid, it's just the gas. So all the liquid has moved into here. And of course, putting it in this tank means that I can use it in all sorts of things, whereas if it's just in the donut, then I can only use it really for the pottery kiln, whereas now it's in here, I can use it for cooking, heating stuff up, and for the pottery kiln. Right, so there you go. Nothing to get annoyed at there. I had one guy, this is quite a few years ago now, where I was talking about relays on inverters. A huge rant comment about, oh, if you take the plastic caps off relays they explode. Yeah, and of course it's all in capital letters and all the mindless nonsense. But there you go, that's the job done. I'll just close everything down, and there'll be a little bit of gas in that tank. You can't get rid of the actual remaining gas. All you're doing is moving the LPG, the liquid, and that I will use as a preheat on the pottery kiln, so that will be totally empty, and I won't be venting it to the atmosphere. I'll be using it up before I cut holes in it, yeah, with the plasma cutter. And then of course the tank can get recycled, or I can use it for sculpture, as you've seen before. So I'll probably put two links on the end of this video about those two subjects. Right, comments, discussion, hope you enjoyed it. Cheers for now.